I totally screwed that up right off the bat. What's good, YouTube? Sandman here. So today, it's here. Guys, today's the day to do it. I'm finally done. I can't handle it anymore. I'm going to do my official 2K review. This is going to be a rant. I got nothing good to say, so if you're looking for I want to hear some pros and cons. To me, there are no fucking pros. There are no fucking pros to this season, to this game, to 2K20. I didn't like 2K19, and literally they just made everything 10 times worse in 2K20. But I got a list here, kind of a script to stick to, so I'm not just all over the place ranting crazy. I'm going to go through this list, and I'm going to name off this, 20 things that are just absolutely fucking horrible then in the game. And that's going to be my review. That's literally what it is. This is going to be a list of what the fucks. So, I don't have this list in any specific order or anything. I'm just going to start at the top and we're going to go through it. So, like I said, I don't have anything good to say about the game. There is no, let's get pros and cons and see which one's higher. This game doesn't have any pros. Nowhere near enough to actually compare it with the cons of this game. So there's no way you could actually do, a legitimate review over this game. The minute you start playing it, you realize very quickly, this is trash. This is hot fucking trash. So, but here we go. So the issues I have, this is after about 20 hours of gameplay. As you can see, I have 4 players. I've spent $250 on this fucking game. And I'm telling you right now, it wasn't worth a dime. It wasn't worth a goddamn dime. So, the first thing I want to talk about, and actually we can if I can get out of this, all right, is a problem. It's one of the same problems that we had last fucking game in 2K19. They did this exact thing to us, is they make it where our stats are non-comparable. And what I mean by this is, say you make a point guard, right? You make a point guard. So I'm just a random one here. He's only a 76 overall, this guy here. So you make a point guard, you automatically put him to 85, right? One of the first things you're going to realize when you go over here and you start looking at these other guys' numbers is they're going to have numbers that don't make any sense. They're going to have numbers in places that if you are a point guard, unless you specialize in whatever it is that they do, you can't have those numbers. You cannot make these builds. They're still in the game. There's still builds in the game that you cannot make. I'd have to compare one of those point guards directly to one of my point guards. So let me show you for sure of what I'm talking about. Last season they did this exact same thing too as with the Lakers. Here we go. I'm going to show you LeBron. I'm going to use him as an example because he's like the perfect example. So last year they did this exact thing to us, but what we could do is you couldn't make these builds. So last year you couldn't make a build with say gold ankle breaker and Hall of Fame finishing badges or something like that. You couldn't do that. But yet you had builds like LeBron with Hall of Fame ankle breaker and Hall of Fame contact finisher and all this kind of stuff. Or you had builds like Curry, who had Hall of Fame ankle breaker with Hall of Fame deep range and all. These were builds you could not make in the game. They did that exact same thing to us this year, but what they did differently this year is when you hit 99, you don't get that boost in all your badges up to the next level. You only get that if you go all out in the park. So for non-park players, we can never achieve these builds again for a game that's completely focused on playing my career this year. And we'll get to that. They've totally fucked up any type of reward system for actually playing this game for regular people, especially considering, like I said, the game is specified for my career this year. So anyways, you have these builds. Once again, they've done it to us again where you cannot make these builds. You cannot make a build with 14 defensive badges, some of them Hall of Fame and gold. With Hall of Fame and gold, look at how many badges he fucking gets. And these are all golds. These are all fucking golds and Hall of Fames and shit. What the fuck, man? You cannot make this build in the game. So they did that to us again. And that should bring me to my next point, actually. So I need to make sure I mark these off as I go through them. So they've done it to us again, where they made builds in the game that we can't make. They've also set up the game to where we're supposed to carry our team. I can't tell you how many games I've had where I had 50, 60 points and we still lose. And it's because your team plays like straight ass. your team really does play like straight ass. It's like you're playing against a team on Hall of Fame, even on pro difficulty. It's like you're playing a team that's Hall of Fame while your team is set to rookie. It's fucking horrible. And so you're expected to carry your team, but you can't make a build that can actually do that. And so they've screwed us on the archetypes. And that brings me to the next point. The archetype system in and of itself is broken. Everybody was like, oh, we're getting this new archetype system and you're going to be able to like do all this great shit. Let me show you something about this archetype system that's everybody's so fucking hyped about, and it's so customizable. It's not customizable at all. It's literally not customizable at all. This is the exact same system we had last year. It's just done in a different manner is all it is. So like, say you wanted to make, I don't know, a play sharp, right? It would be that right there, right? Playmaking and shooting, right? And you get to pick your little thing. Now, we'll get to the lies and all that shit in a minute. But so, say you were going to make a little play sharp, right? What's going to happen is, this is the only difference between last year and this year. So last year, if you made a play sharp, like you might get, like you'd be limited to like, say, an 88 ball handling. Oh, we're still limited. Well, okay. Yeah, but last year you would only have like like if you were a play sharp, yeah, you'd have an 88 ball control and all that. You'd be limited there, but you'd be limited on your block too. You could only have like a 40 or a 50 something block. Oh, wait a minute. Well, yeah, but last year, it's better this year because last year you couldn't pick where your stats went. Oh, really? So you want to make a play sharp, right? So you put all these stats in because you need these badges, right? Because it may tell you have 20, 30 badges. In reality, you have 5 or 10. Somewhere in there, depending on if you want any Hall of Fame badges. So you go in here, right? Play sharp's not doing post fades. Play sharp's not doing post moves. So that would limit me to just 19 badges there and 17 shooting badges, which is literally like 4 Hall of Fame badges. That's it. Total 4 Hall of Fame badges total. You make a fucking sharp last year, you got like 7 Hall of Fame badges, plus all your golds, all your silvers, all your bronze. If you go Hall of Fame, you're literally only going to get like 4 or 5 badges that are Hall of Fame. Most of the builds in this game, in reality, only have about 10 to 15 badges. Total. It's fucking ridiculous. But here's the other thing too. So say you don't limit yourself like that, and say you like, oh, I want to go all out and I want all the badges. So like you would last year, right? If you made a pure offensive build, right? So like you put all your stats into your offensive shit, right? Let me show you what happens. We're still limited as fuck. Oh, wait. You mean I'll have nothing for defense? Oh, that's right, because just like last year, if you make an offensive build, you cannot play defense. If you make a defensive build, you cannot play offense. If you make an in-between, you suck at it all. The way they did the badges this year, where you literally have to spend 30 hours in the game just to be able to play the game, makes that whole thing 10 times worse. If you don't make a build that's dominant right off the bat just based on stats, you're fucked. You're absolutely fucked. You're going to spend hours and hours and hours just getting your ass kicked. And you can't go to the park and just say, well, I've got skill, so I'll just go to the park and I'll level up that way. We're already seeing from some of the best players in the game that doesn't work. They have to go play my career. It's fucked. The Archetype system is just as fucked as it was last year. It's just as limited as it was last year. Nothing new here, guys. They just put a different package on it, is all they did. And it actually limited us even more. Even more. Because you might think, okay, well, if you're going to make a play sharp, don't give them any driving dunk. And I'm just using this one archetype as an example. It's literally like this for every single archetype. And he won't have any post ability. So we're just going to limit the shit out of his badges, but we'll make him even, right? So he'll be like some kind of even build, so he can kind of do everything. I actually have this build, this exact build. It doesn't work. And you think, okay, this way, I can have some defense, right? So you put all this up, right? And maybe just offensive rebound, right? So there you go. You think you have defense, you got the ability to ball handle, and you have the inside, right? Here's what you're going to notice right away. If you don't have an 85 or higher driving layup, you're going to get stuffed every single time. I'm not even kidding. Like, the game will leave other players wide open just to sink all the centers into the post to stop you from scoring inside. It's insane how scripted the game is to come directly after you. It doesn't play against your team, it plays against you and whatever archetype you make. So if you make a sharpshooter, they'll literally just sit on you at the three-point line. If you make a slasher, they'll literally just put all the bigs inside and just sit in there. And it would be fine because you'd say, okay, we'll just pass the ball out to the three-point line and let your guys hit threes for you. Nope, because your team won't fucking move. They don't do anything. They just sit there and, like, they miss wide open shots. They don't play defense. Well, we'll get into that. As you can see, your actual build, like, we'll go all the way. Well, I'll show you the badges too, right? So, like, you think you've got all these badges now, right? Number one, if you don't have a 91 ball handling, your ball control ain't going to be shit. You're going to be in the same area as the 70 overall guys, the guys with 70 ball control. I have 4 different builds ranging from everything from like a 60-something ball control all the way up to a 93. And I'm telling you, if you don't have at least a 91, even my pure playmaker, when I had originally put his ball handling at a 90 flat out, because I like the round number, and I had put stats and everything else. And then I started noticing that a lot of other playmakers, they automatically go right to 91. I couldn't figure out why. It's because when you go to 91, it puts you in an entirely different dribbling ability. So if you don't have a 91, not an 86 anymore, they opened up dribble packages to everybody. But if you don't have a 91 now, if you're not a pure playmaker, you're fucked. Or you got to be 6'1". You got to be short as fuck with a crazy small wingspan. Here's the problem here now. You make these offensive builds, you don't have any strength. You see that 51 strength? You have to have at least an 80 overall strength to not get blown by. And when I say get blown by, let me go back to my list so I make sure I mark these off. I mean literally a 5-foot point guard will just blow right by you. It's not even a blow by. They're not blow by. Blow by entails that you did a little dribble move and then went left or right or whatever and went right past your man. That's not what's happening. What's happening is these little fucking 6'1", 6'2" point guards that weigh a $105 are going up against small forwards and shooting guards and centers and literally just shoving their way through because there's no interior defense. And so they get inside and they just lay it up. But yet if we try that, we literally get stuffed every single time. And it's because, like I said, you're on rookie while the team you're playing against is on Hall of Fame, no matter what your difficulty setting is. And the entire game is set up to stop you from doing whatever it is you want to do. So I want to move on. I know this is a rant, but I don't want to stick to anything too long. So no custom archetypes. Really, we got the exact same archetype system we had last year. It's just you can choose, instead of being shitty at defense, to have absolutely no defense. And then maybe you can do some post moves or maybe you can do something else. But it doesn't even make sense to do that. Because, like, even if you take all this shit out of defense and try to put it in offense and stuff, right? So, like, say you just take all this away, right? I don't want any rebounding ability. I don't need any blocking ability. I don't need any stealing. I don't need any real defense. Like, I just need to stay in front of my man on the perimeter, right? We'll do that. Because that's the basic of if you don't have that, I mean, you're fucked, right? And then so, like, okay, I'm going to put all of this into my actual offensive shit. Oh, wait a minute. A 69 driving dunk? You're not even going to get dunk packages. You got to have a 75 for the good dunk packages. So you're not going to get any dunk packages. You're not going to dunk on anybody. A 40 stat, it's just a waste of stats. So if you actually try and do what they're suggesting here, which is just say, okay, I don't want any defense. I just want to be a beast offensively. It actually is so limiting it won't let you. Because this 60, 40, 69, 70, that's not going to do you any good. It's going to do you zero amount of good. Those stats aren't high enough to actually compete. Not to mention, the blow-bys and everything, you're just going to get destroyed defensively. You're going to have no chance. So, like I said, the whole idea of this, like, we can customize our players and make the player we want to make is total bullshit. It's total, complete, and total bullshit. And that's going to bring me eventually to the lies, which I'm going to talk about at the very end of this. So we already touched on the blow-bys. Everybody knows what I'm talking about there. If you play my career whatsoever, especially if you're a point guard, You've seen it where no matter what point guard you're playing, no matter what his overall rating is, he'll just literally don't even do a dribble move. They just walk right past you. They just shove their way past you and make an easy layup. God forbid you're playing against like Kyrie Irving or one of those guys, because they just will demolish you the entire time. Not to mention the speed. Something is wrong with the speed in this game. I have builds with like 95 acceleration and 95 speed. My pure playmaker's like that. I can't outrun anybody. Little 70 overall pure little point guards can not only keep up with me, but like if I'm running down the court with the ball, they'll literally run out and get in front of me. And if they can't, if you pay close attention to the animation, and I've called this out in a couple of my streams, the game will literally slow your guy down to let them get in front of you. It's fucking insane. It's insane. So, moving on to the next thing. So, the next thing I got written here is shooting. Oh my God, do we even want to get into it? Do we even want to fucking get into it? I just killed a stream. The entire reason like it pushed me to finally just go ahead and make this review is my last stream. My last stream, I'm a 95, or I'm a 88 overall, but a 95 mid-range, 95 3-point, 90 ball control. Like, my little play sharp is supposed to be badass. I've gotten him all of his basic shooting badges, all of his basic handling badges. He should be decent now. My last game, I think I went 4 for 19 from 3, and literally like 80% of them were wide open. And that's with the custom jump shot, which is crazy because I actually was looking forward to streaming today because last night I got my custom jump shot. I made my custom jump shot, and in my gym I was hitting greens like left, right, and I was just like, holy shit, finally, it's fixed. It feels good. Nope. That's when I realized, when I started playing actual games trying to use the jump shot and everything, I'm getting open shots. My release is decent. The game is scripted so you don't get so far ahead. If you're scripted for a loss, you're just going to miss everything. The shooting in this game, I don't think it has anything to do with your stats. I've seen plenty of guys who only have like a 50 and 60 overall three-point shot just facializing motherfuckers. And we're talking about NPCs who should be shooting off pure statistics. No, they just 70 overall 3, no problem. He'll nail threes on you all day long. In your face too, because there's no fucking defense if you're not an actual defensive player. And even then, I have a pure lockdown. Let me tell you right now, if you're expecting to make a pure lockdown and have it be like last year where lockdowns were they're not even close. They are not even close. They're slow as fuck. The only thing they can do is drive and finish. They can't dribble. They can't shoot. Literally, if you make a lockdown, you'll be a little bit better on defense. You might get a steal or a block every now and then. Actually, I get more steals with my play sharp than I do my lockdown. No question. Like, I'll get 4 or 5 steals a game with my little pure sharp. But if I go play on my lockdown with 95 steal, I'll foul out before I get 5. There's no question. I will foul out before I get 5. And it's because defense, they just nerfed defense into the ground because they didn't want what happened last time with a bunch of lockdowns going around and everybody crying about that shit. So now lockdowns are useless. They're fucking useless. But okay, I was on shooting. So my pure sharp, like I said, last game, I think it was 5 for 19. Who the fuck is going to do that? And I know people are going to say, oh, well, you got to get silver badges and you got to get gold badges. Bitch, you want me to play this game for 30, 40? I already put 20 hours in. You want me to play for 30, 40 fucking hours just to be able to compete with the NPCs? I'm not even talking about the goddamn park. I'm talking about the computer. I'm talking about they made it so fucking difficult in a game that has no leaderboard. Nobody knows if you're good at my career. Nobody cares if you're good at my career. Nobody cares if you put up 100 points per game in my career and have never lost. Nobody gives a shit. They only care about what you do in the park. So why is my career so fucking limited, so scripted, and so overly saturated with difficulty. It's insane. It's not even difficulty, really. When you, like I've talked about it before, if you really look at the game itself is not very difficult. It's pretty easy to figure out what you're supposed to do. It's the way the game glitches its difficulty. It's the way, like, suddenly a little point guard who's half your size will just shove right past you. And there's literally nothing you can do about it. It's the way, like I was just talking about, somebody with a 50 overall three-point shot will facialize you from deep range. Just because you weren't on top of them. And you can't sit on top of them because then they just blow by you every time. And I'm not saying this without clamps or any of that stuff. My defensive player has like 4 or 5 defensive badges. He doesn't play any better defense really than my pure playmakers, my pure sharps. It's the same shit. And it's not because of the skill, guys. It's not a skill gap. I've heard lots of people saying it's a fucking skill gap. No, it's not. It's not a skill gap when you're playing point on defense right in front of your guy and this little point guard who's half your size literally just shoves right past you. And your animations won't let you turn and get back on him. Your animations won't let you get a block from behind because you don't have a 95 overall block on a pure sharp. So it's a freebie every fucking time. If you cannot stop them from scoring because of the actual mechanics of the game, that is not a fucking difficulty. That's not difficulty. That is simply the game not letting you do something, whether you're making the right choice or not. So I'm so sick of people talking about that there's a difficulty level in it. No, there's not. There's no skill gap. I really don't think there's any skill gap in this game right now, at least not in my career. I don't play Park. So maybe there is for the Park guys. They can have fun with that. I only play my career. So like for me, there is no skill gap. There is none here. It's literally just the NPCs doing whatever the fuck they want. My NPCs on my team not doing anything they're supposed to be doing. So, but that's shooting. Shooting, I'm telling you right now, it's not even statistically based. It's all based on mechanics. It's all based on whether or not the game's scripted to let you have that shot. Plain and simple. That's the reason we're missing 90% of our wide open fucking full bars. It's like, it's not a green. And so we're just supposed to accept that if you don't green every time in a game that has some of the worst latency problems out of any game on the market, we're supposed to like not do anything unless we do it perfectly. What the fuck? Shooting is trash. Dribbling. People are going to argue with this. I'm saying it flat out. Dribbling in this game is total bullshit. It's total garbage. It's trash. It's absolute trash. You're doing a bunch of bullshit that you don't need to be doing before you do a blow-by. That's the entire dribble system. Is left, right, up, down, whatever. You can hit all over on the right stick and he'll do a couple dribble moves and you can think you look cool. But then in the end, are you really shaking your man? Are you really getting to go left, right? Are you really breaking him down? No, you're not. What you're actually doing is he sits in front of you. You do your little cheese or whatever it is you want to do, and then you shove past him. You can do that exact same thing without dribbling at all. The dribble game is useless. It's fucking useless in this game. I realized very quickly, put on Kobe Bryant's little double between the legs thing. I forget what it's called. There's only 2 Kobe Bryant packages, so it's his ISO dribbling or whatever. Put on his ISO dribbling, double tap up on the right stick, and the minute he goes into the second one, press towards your NPC that's guarding you and hit turbo, and you'll just go right past him. It's not even really a blow-by. You just force your way through. That's not dribbling. Beyond this, because I know there's still people who are going to argue and try to say this or that, when the best, and I'm not going to name names, we all know who the best dribblers on 2K are, when they are coming out, literally all of them, and saying, yeah, the dribble system's crap, this is not good at all, there's no real difficulty to this, there's no real like system to it, all it is like the exact same shit minus half the moves and put on the left stick. That's all it is. So when the best, you don't even need my opinion, the best dribblers in the game, the guy we know these are the best in the game, they're the guy tearing the park up all the last like 2-3 years. When they are coming out and saying, yeah, the dribbling's garbage, fuck my opinion. The dribbling's garbage. You know, I mean, if if Michael Jordan came out and was like, yeah, basketball sucks, basketball's not very good, we probably wouldn't be like, oh, you don't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's Michael goddamn Jordan. It's the best in the game. Like, so when the best dribblers in the game are saying it sucks, it sucks. That's end of story. There's no reason to like have an argument about it We don't know anything about it compared to what these guys spend hours and hours and hours only focused on that. They're saying it sucks. It fucking sucks. Double teams. Here's something else that the computer, I'm telling you, just scripted to fuck you up. So, especially as soon as you get like your first set of bronze badges, you're going to notice, especially for sure if you're like a guard, if you're a shooting guard or a point guard, the minute you get to the point where you can actually put some points up, you're going to get double teamed. And I don't mean like, oh, you put up a 50-point game and in the fourth they started double teaming you. No, I mean like you're pure sharp, you come out, you hit your first 2 threes. From that point on in the first quarter through the rest of the game, you're going to get double and triple teamed every time you come across the fucking half-court line. Now, you can expose this, you can spam it, because they literally don't cover anybody inside when they do this. And so your assist total will just go through the roof because you just wait till they get there, make sure you're holding the right pass button, and pass it inside to the hoop or whatever, to the paint. So it's very spammable. Don't get me wrong, it's not something that can just shut you down because they're double teaming you. I mean, it will. It's going to shut down your shooting, your finishing. You're not going to be able to do anything. But you're going to get free points every time. But that's how focused, that's how scripted the game is in stopping you. Specifically you. It's not a team ball game. That's not the way they set it up. They literally have scripted the entire fucking game to come after you in whatever archetype you build. You build a sharp, they will sit on you at the three-point line. You build an athletic finisher, they will literally let everyone shoot threes because they know you can't and just sit in the paint. The game literally sets up to stop whatever it is your archetype is supposed to be able to do. Now, I have a play slasher, which is pretty much a do-it-all archetype. He gets like 6 defensive rebound or badges, like 26 playmaking, like 12 shooting, and like 10 finishing. It's sort of like this build, but it's like a 6'5" player, and he gets like 85, or he gets 80 driving dunk, 80 driving layup. Like, he's supposed to be able to do everything. You realize very quickly, if you don't specialize in something, the computer's just going to lock you down. You're not going to be able to do a fucking thing. It's everything you do is going to be 50-50. There is no real skill in it. And so you're literally limited to these builds that can only do one thing, like we were last year. And then the game is scripted as fuck to stop you from doing that one thing, so you have nothing else you can do. And so literally the best games I've had where we've like blown out the other team by 40, 50 points, I didn't even fucking score. I just stopped scoring and just started passing every fucking play. And just, that's all I do, is just pass the ball. I'm pure sharp. Fuck getting shooting badges. I can't make them anyways, so I just pass the ball the entire fucking time. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. The double teams, just the overall NPC's direct response to you is just ridiculous. You're a nobody. You're a fucking nobody. You're not even a starter. And if you are, you just made starter. Why is it that they're treating you like you're goddamn LeBron James on a hot night? Like, what the fuck? So that shit's all fucked up. NPC defense. There's really nothing to talk about. There is no NPC defense. The NPCs on your team will not play defense. They will allow the other team to get rebounds all day long. They will allow the other team to score in the paint all day long. I have never, ever, on any of the teams I have, for the 4 players that I've built, I have not seen a big man actually get a block. None whatsoever. I've never seen it happen. I've seen plenty of 6-foot point guards literally drive right through fucking Porzingis or whatever that other Mavericks guy is, the 7'3" guy on. Oh, I've seen that dude get posterized so many fucking times. Because there's no defense. There's no interior defense mixed with the fact that the NPCs don't play defense. Like I said, the team you play against is on Hall of Fame, your team's on rookie. It's fucked up. Scripted games. So we've talked a lot about the way the game's scripted to shut specifically you down and all. Here's something else, and I was calling this out back in 18. It was horrible in 19. I made actual full rant videos about it. Luckily this year I'm hearing other people hollering about this too, because people are starting to catch on what's happening. I play these games so much that I get it right away. I figure out what they're doing right away. If the game is scripted for you to lose, you can have like a 20-point lead. You'll get subbed out. When you come back in, you'll have a loss. I haven't seen it quite as bad as it was last year. Last year, you could have a 30-point lead, get subbed out, come back in with like a 30 seconds left in the game, and be down by 30. And I actually made a video about that. I had a game where I was up by 30 against Kyrie Irving and the Celtics, and literally Kyrie Irving hit like 48 points in the fourth quarter. It subbed me out, and when it subbed me back in, we were down by 25. Like, what the fuck? It's just so fucked up because the game was scripted to lose. They're doing the exact same thing this year. I will admit, though, I haven't seen it be quite as bad. I haven't been subbed back into like a 20-point loss. I've been up by 15. The biggest one I've seen so far, I was up by 15 playing against the Lakers. And I got subbed out in the third, and it subbed me back in at the beginning of the fourth. And when it subbed me back in, we were down by 8. So literally, it gave up like 23 points. It's still doing it. The games are still scripted. And it just seems like the entire game, like I said, is made for you to be the only person that really matters on the court. So either you score all the points or your team fucking loses. But at the same time, it'll just sub you out and take the game away from you. Just rip it right away from you. It's fucked up. It's just more fucked up shit. Oh, here's a good one. So here's one that I haven't heard anybody call out yet. I probably should have put this in the beginning of the video because this drives me fucking bananas. I do not understand what their thought process was here. So we'll go into a career. I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. Actually, this one ain't gonna work because I'm already in a game. So I'm gonna bring it up, but I'll talk about it till I get there. So I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but the reward system in this game, it's no longer about, you hit 90, you get this, you hit 91, you can take your shirt off or whatever. The entire game is set up for you to play my career. That's the only way you're going to level up. That's the only way you're going to get your badges and your overall and all this kind of stuff. But the entire customization system, the entire fucking everything in the park, all of the the scooters, the bikes, the skateboards, the fucking clothes. I can't even buy a sweatband. It's the 2K Sports. I can't buy a fucking armband to walk around the park with because I'm not a fucking pro whatever in the park because I don't play park. Literally, they locked all of the rewards in this game. All of the rewards you actually get for playing the game, they lock behind park. So if you're a My Career player, you're fucked. There's literally no reason to play this game except for your overall. Except for just grinding badges and trying to grind your overall. Come on, man. Let me just sub out of this bullshit. I'm not trying to play this game. This is the team that did the bullshit to me last game. I don't even want to fucking do it. Come on, man. It's fucking 5 hours worth of intro. I don't care about none of that shit. Hey, we actually got the win. They blew us out by 40 points last game. It was just like, I don't know what the fuck was going on. It was horrible, but let me get out, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I don't want to lose track of what I was talking about. I was talking about the reward system. Most of you who've played the game have actually already seen it. It's nice to get some recognition, but literally, not just the reward system, but everything in the game is locked behind playing park. And so if you're not a park player, don't buy this game. There's literally no point in playing the game. Come on, dude. Like, it does this to me every fucking game. I have to go through, like, these 30 fucking interviews and shit. This is so stupid. No, just wait. I didn't even put in there about them advertising and all this kind of shit. Okay, so here's what I want to show you guys. And like I said, most people have seen this. Everything in the game is locked behind this system. Even just like wear accessories in the neighborhood. I gotta go to Rookie 3 to get that, just to wear accessories in the fucking neighborhood. Last year, you could just do that right away. It wasn't that big a deal. There was actual rewards for leveling up, for putting time in the game, whether you were playing Park or your My Career. It didn't matter. This year, nope, you have to play Park if you want anything of an actual reward in the game. All of it is locked behind Park. You get nothing for leveling up your player. And here's the thing. People are all like, yeah, but look at the new progression system. It's so great. No, really, it's stupid. It's fucking stupid. Because what do? You max out all of the stats that you actually need for your player build. Then the rest of the stats don't even matter. They really don't. I don't need post moves on a 6'1" point guard. That doesn't make any sense. I didn't give this guy any rebounding, so I don't really have any reason to keep raising that rebounding. And the only other thing I have is passing accuracy, and at a 70 overall, I'm doing just fine. My free throw is 70. Really? Once you hit 70, it's rare as fuck that I miss a free throw. So my stats are already maxed. So my level ups, I really don't gain anything. I really don't. My speed and acceleration are going to go up to an 87 and an 82. Max at 99 overall. My strength will be like a 54. My vertical goes to like a 67. And then, of course, your stamina. So I'm really not going to gain anything major in my physicals either. I'm not going to gain anything from leveling up. And so you think, okay, well, you got the badges. That's it. That's literally the entire point of my career, is to get the badges so you can actually play my career and not just totally suck at it. It makes no fucking sense. It makes no fucking sense. They took away all the actual purpose, all the actual incentive of playing this game unless you're a park player. I don't know if this is something they did on purpose. I mean, they had to have. It had to be on purpose. But there you go. There's your rep system. And it's not just the rep system there for the park gives you all those things. You cannot go buy anything unless you rep up in the park. You can't go buy clothes. You can't go buy... I mean, there's certain clothes you can buy, but there's a lot of it that's restricted. You can't buy shoes. You can't buy... There's just so much shit in the game you cannot buy if you don't level up in the park. So for my career players, the rep system's just ruined this year. It's the worst rep system I've ever seen. It's completely limited to park guys. And I'm not even kidding. Like, literally... I really don't need to go over here and do this, but I can show you guys. Everything's locked. Everything is fucking locked behind a game, part of the game that I have no intention of playing whatsoever. I have no intention of playing the park, and everything is locked behind the park. Everything we liked from last year, when you finally got your skateboard, or when you finally were able to take your shirt off, or you know, that kind of shit. All of that was locked behind your grind, and so you had a reason to do this grind. Now, there's no reason to do this fucking grind anymore. There's literally zero reason to do the grind anymore. Because all of the incentives are under park. So if you don't play park, why are you even playing the fucking game? Like, what's the goddamn point? Oh, did they open up the cheap ones? I think they opened up the cheap ones is what they... Or not the cheap ones, but the expensive ones. See, all that shit's locked. And jewelry also. There we go. See, all the accessories are locked. You can do a headband. But actually, you can only do one of these three. You can't do any of these. They're all locked. It's all fucking locked behind your park. Do you play park? See, unlocked at Rookie 3. I can't even buy a fucking arm sleeve because it's all locked. I don't play park. I'll never get to have any of this. Like I said, the entire point of this game, of putting all these hours into the game, is to unlock all this great shit, taking your shirt off and riding a skateboard and all that stuff, so you can promote the fact that you've actually put in the work. I could get to a 99 overall, win every single my career game, put up 100 points per game, be the next LeBron James, all that good shit. I won't have any of that shit. None of it. Because it's literally all locked behind your fucking park. It's all locked behind this. No reason to play the fucking game. You got me playing the worst part of the game for no fucking reason. And so that actually ends my list, guys. There was only one more thing I wrote down, and that's I wrote the word lies really big. Pie charts, neighborhoods, respecs. They literally lied to us. This wasn't some YouTuber misinformed the community and we just assumed they were right because they were a big... No. Ronnie 2K himself on live stream told us that this shit was real. And a lot of people are just going to want to lay into Ronnie, and they're going to say, well, that's, yeah, he works for 2K, but that's not 2K. Apparently, you don't have a fucking clue how business works. If somebody tried to go after this game for false advertising, which is exactly what Ronnie did, as a representative of 2K and Take-Two Interactive, he falsely advertised this product. You couldn't sue Ronnie. A lot of people, I keep hashtag fire Ronnie and all that shit. Yeah, it's funny, but you literally can't do anything to Ronnie. Ronnie can lie his ass off. That's between him and 2K. The only people you could sue for false advertising would be 2K and Take-Two Interactive themselves. Because Ronnie is not Ronnie 2K. Ronnie is a representative of 2K. So whatever he says, if we think it's false advertising, it has to come back on 2K because that is the originator. They're the ones that own the license to the property. And so it's their fault if miscommunication gets put out there. Now, I want people to think about this shit. Ronnie put out these fucking lies how many months ago? 2K had all of this time to come back and say, no, those were wrong. Ronnie had that wrong. Did they? No. Not even fucking once. Not until after the release of the game. 2K let Ronnie lie about that shit, knowing that it was wrong, and then just didn't say anything because they know you're the only person you can come after is them, and they're way too big to fail. And so literally they can just leave Ronnie out to dry. Everybody's going to go after Ronnie saying he lied, when in reality 2K's sitting back just raking in the dough. Because they don't give a fuck. Even if the whole community really turned on Ronnie and was like, get rid of that dude, we don't want him in the community, they could fire him, hire somebody else who's better at lying. That's all they would do. Like, there's no winning in this situation. We literally got duped and there's nothing we can do about it. And that really brings me to the final point. When a game company, like I said, I don't specifically blame Ronnie for this. When a game company allows lies and false information to be spread about their game to try and improve their sales, this is what you get. This is what you get. Why do you think for like the first, literally like 2-3 months before this game was released, we had no footage? We had no gameplay of it. It's because they didn't have a fucking game. They had last year's game and they were still trying to figure out how they could warp it to make it look a little bit different, to make it look like it's a little bit more of a newer game. And so they had nothing. They had nothing to show us. It wasn't that they were holding out and that they were like, you just wait. You're going to be so surprised on Christmas Day. No, they had nothing. And they knew they had nothing. And so they let these lies go out. They didn't put out any information, any real screenshots, any real gameplay. They let all the YouTubers put out their false, like, oh, look, I found this screen. No, you didn't. You made that shit yourself. It still says 2K19 on it. They let all that shit slide because that is what hyped their game. They didn't have a fucking game this year. And that's why we're stuck with what we're stuck with. That's why, I'm not going to go back through them, but all the problems I just listed off are going on is because the entire system, the entire 2K mixed with NBA is a horrible mix. It's a horrible fucking system. And it's not just that they got Ronnie lying. When you're playing your games, watch 2K TV. I don't want to tell people like, yeah, check out 2K TV. It's awesome. It's not awesome. But if you watch the 2K TV, you'll see these interviews with some of the NBA E-League guys. Listen to what they say, because these interviews were done pre-launch. They lie their asses off. A lot of those guys are talking about the new customization systems that aren't even in the game. There's one of them that actually mentions the respec system, not even in the game. Like, they literally lied their ass off because it's what 2K told them to say. So like I said, the point of this video is the review rant, but I want people to understand, yeah, Ronnie's a piece of shit, but you can't really blame Ronnie for what's happening. It's everyone who works for 2K is in on this. They're getting their paycheck. They're doing what 2K tells them to do. So that's about it, guys. I know I left a lot of stuff out. I don't want to rant anymore. I'm sure this has gone like 30 minutes probably already, but I hopefully hit the main stuff. This game's a piece of shit. It's not even like, this isn't even like, it's just not really that good. It's okay, but no, this game is a piece of shit. It's a hot mess of last year's game is all it is. All it is. Last year's game like even the movement system. I went back and played 2K19 last night to figure out just exactly why the movement system feels so different. I figured out what it is. So in 2K19 there was this lag when you kind of slowly started to move your player, especially on defense, and your player would not rotate. He would just stay facing the ball the way he should, and if you held left stick, he'd face the guy you're defending. And so there was this little bit of lag, and he wouldn't spin, and it allowed you to stay in front of your man or play zone areas. It was a really good movement system. Last year's movement system was just fine. What they did was they took out that lag, took out any type of slow movement. So what happens is your player, if you go left or right on the left stick whatsoever, automatically rotates. You'll see him, he'll just start spinning around. And then the minute you put any pressure in a certain direction, your player automatically goes into a sprint. This is why the game feels like really fucking weird this year, is because it's the exact same movement system from last year, but they took parts of it out. They took the little movement system that actually held you in place and allowed you to stay in front of your guy, or like I said, zone coverage or whatever. They took that out. And so that's why we're just spinning around in circles the entire fucking time, is because that was an actual part of the movement system that kept that from happening. Because they knew that was garbage. But they put it in this year because, hey, it makes it look like it's a new game, right? It's a brand new game, man. And anyone who want to argue that, go do a little fucking research on PC. There's people who are playing on PC who are playing 2K20, and there's videos on YouTube of it. They're literally pulling down the app in the middle of playing 2K and showing you that it's a 2K19 app symbol. They're literally on PC right now. If there's people who've done videos on it, you can pull down the app, and the actual like 2K20 logo that you would click on to open up the game has switched to 2K19 because it's originally 2K19. That's all this is. It's a fucking remastered 2K19 that they ruined the movement system. They made the scriptedness twice as bad. They took away all the reward system. They took away all the things we liked about the game, jump shot creator and all that. And I know it's in the game. I have it now. But it took me like 30 games to get it. What the fuck, man? So for the first 30 games, any shooting that I might have gotten better or worse at doesn't even matter because now I'm using a completely different jump shot. It's the same thing with the quick draw badge. You get that sucker to silver, but how long is it going to take you to get it to gold or Hall of Fame even? The entire time you're playing, while it's like that, your ability to like get better at your shooting is nothing because you're about to change your entire shot. So if you don't go directly for just that badge right off the bat and get it as soon as possible and get your jump shot creator as soon as possible, if you're a shooter, you're just going to be all over the place the entire fucking year. At least for the first couple months. It's horrible. Everything about this game was fucking horrible. Everything they told us about this game that made us want to buy it was a fucking lie. So, that's my review, guys. That's my rant. Some people are going to agree, some are going to disagree. I honestly, this is one of those games where, like, I've had games where I thought it was a shitty games and people disagreed, and I can understand. Like, they liked it, I didn't. It happens. I don't see how anyone can say that this is good. This is the biggest rotten piece of shit that we have seen in 2019. And here's the thing. Borderlands 3 comes out tomorrow. Or no, not tomorrow. I think in 3 days. I think on the 13th or something like that. I think they pushed it back. It comes out in the next few days. I would like to remind people, that's 2K. That's 2K. Borderlands is a 2K game. It's the exact same fucking people that just did this to us. I don't know about you guys, but I will not be buying Borderlands. I will not be buying Borderlands. I know it sounds crazy to skip. Borderlands 1 and 2 are those were some of my favorite games of all time. There's no way I'm buying Borderlands. Not after what they did here. You think they're not going to do that exact same shit there? It's going to be the exact same shit. I guarantee it. Full of flaws and fucking problems and monetization and everything's going to be restricted to what they want you to do. It's just going to be horrible. It's going to be the same shit we got here. But yeah, I don't want to get on a rant about that. That's my review, guys. That's my rant for this game. I'm not going to make a bunch of them. Last year I made a bunch of different rants. This year, this is it. This is it. This game's a total piece of shit. There's no way they're going to fix it. We've seen this over the last, 2-3 years. That the games come out, they're broken as fuck. They'll fix one or two things and then break a bunch of other stuff. And then we spend the entire year Oh, you gotta nerf locks. Oh, locks are too weak now. You gotta nerf shooters. Oh, shooters are too weak now. You gotta nerf shot creator. And we just do that the entire fucking year. And they literally, just like with breadcrumbs, just lead us along until the next year hits when they can drop the exact same game with the exact same fucking problems and get our money all over again. This whole thing is a fucking scam, guys. And I'm out. I have no interest in this game. I spent $250 on it because I'm a fucking idiot. But hopefully I'm an idiot so you guys don't have to be. Don't waste your money on this game. I would not even spend the $60 for the base game, even if you're not going to buy VC. Fuck this game. Fuck 2K. If you have 2K19, especially if you're not a pure park player, if you're really into like grinding your player and trying to get that high level, stick with 19. Literally. The gameplay is better. The leveling system's better. The rep system's better. The rewards are better. The gameplay itself is better. The NPCs play better. Everything about 19 is better than this game, and 19 was trash. What else can you say? Like, that's it, guys. I don't even know where else to take this, because that's the review. It really is. This game is a fucking 0.5 out of 10. This is the worst 2K I have ever seen. And I've been playing 2K... Actually, fuck 2K. I've been playing basketball games. I remember back 09, Live 09 was like the first basketball game I really, truly got into. And it's because I'd just come back from Iraq and I was settling and all this kind of shit. I've been doing this a long time, playing video games all day, every day. And I'm telling you right now, this game right here, I'm literally like fighting mad over this game. I'm fighting mad over this game. Like, this is crazy trash. I can't even believe they got away with it. I can't believe they got away with the lies. I can't believe they got away with restricting everything the way they did, putting all the rep rewards behind Park. Like I said, I could go back through the list, but that's useless. Notice I hadn't even mentioned all the glitches, the blue screens, the people getting kicked, the people losing VC, the people who aren't getting any rep. All these fucking issues, which we have had a day one patch, and the only thing it did was make centers faster. Like, guys, open your eyes, man. Fuck 2K, fuck Ronnie, fuck Mike Wang, fuck all of them, and fuck anyone who kisses their ass. Any of these YouTubers are like, oh, people are just bitching because it's new. Motherfucker, we're bitching because it's a piece of shit. You've got 90% of the community saying it's a piece of shit. You've got a Metascore, an average Metascore of 1.5. Anthem had a 4.5. What the fuck? Like, this many people saying that this game is absolute trash. Any YouTubers or 2K reps who are willing to stand up and say, oh, y'all just don't know what you're talking about, needs to be punched in their face. They're fucking idiots. It's not an opinion thing. You're a fucking idiot, and you're probably getting paid. So, I don't know. Whatever. That's my rant, guys. I've stretched it on another 10 minutes for no fucking reason. I'm done with the game. I'm not going to stream it anymore. I have no intention of grinding this year. I really wanted to this year. I really wanted to get into it. I thought for sure, hey, even if it was just the same as last year, at least it'll be improved. I would have been okay with that. An improved last year. Okay, fine. This year, all they did was take us 10 steps backwards and then take away, like I said, all the reasons to actually play the game as a my career player. They took them all away. There's no reason for me to play this game whatsoever. So, I'm not going to play it.